Today I'm walking through the NGK 4996 Laser Iridium IFR5T11 spark plugs. You will find a link to purchase this and other models at a discount in the description below the video. You can place your order right now. I'm using a screen recording for this breakdown since I can't show the physical set on camera, but the goal stays the same. I want to give you a clear look at what these plugs offer and where they fall short. I'm keeping it simple and sticking to what matters when you're choosing parts for your car. The NGK 4996 plugs sit in the Laser Iridium line, which is known for stable ignition and long life.
Did you know that the best discounts on Amazon last only a few hours? That's why I launched 2 channels where I publish the highest discounts on Amazon products in real time every day. Follow the link in the description and subscribe to our Threads and Telegram channels right now to consistently save money on your everyday purchases.
The Iridium center electrode is thin and designed to hold a strong spark even when the engine is running under load or during cold starts. In practice, plugs like these can help fix rough idle or weak acceleration if your old ones are worn out. They don't give extra horsepower on their own, but they can bring the engine back to how it should feel. The IFR5T11 model is gapped at about 1.1 millimeters, and with NGK, the factory gap is usually on point. Most people drop these in without adjusting anything. That said, I've seen cases where shipping can knock the gap slightly off, so it's smart to check before installing. The build quality is solid. The iridium tip and platinum pad on the ground electrode help spread wear so the spark stays consistent over time. These are made to last much longer than basic copper plugs, which is helpful if you don't want to keep opening the engine bay every year. But long life depends on the engine too. Some engines burn hotter or run richer, and that can shorten the life of any plug. If your car is older or burns oil, you might not see the full lifespan NGK advertises. The threads and shell finish on these plugs are smooth. NGK usually coats them with a trivalent plating that helps prevent them from seizing in the cylinder head. That makes removal easier later. Still, you should avoid over-tightening. A lot of spark plug problems come from people cranking down too hard and damaging the threads. The simple torque wrench solves that. The sealing washer seats cleanly once tightened to spec, so you don't need anti-seize on these. NGK itself recommends skipping it because their coating already prevents sticking. When it comes to actual use, performance stays steady. Engines that use this heat range tend to run smoother once the old plugs are removed. Idle stabilizes, throttle response improves, and cold starts feel cleaner. But this depends on the rest of the ignition system too. If your coils are weak, these plugs won't magically fix it. They're a maintenance part, not an upgrade for worn coils or sensors. I've also seen mixed experiences with fuel economy. Some drivers see a slight improvement, others see nothing. It usually comes down to how worn the previous plugs were. Heat range on these is middle ground, meant for many standard engines. They don't get too hot and don't foul easily, but if your engine has mods or runs much hotter than stock, you may need a different heat range. For stock setups, these are usually a safe and reliable choice. What stands out is how predictable they are. NGK stays pretty consistent across batches, which isn't something you can say about every brand. If you're installing these yourself, the process is simple. Work on a cool engine, remove coils or wires gently, blow out any dirt so nothing falls into the cylinder. Thread each plug in by hand before using a wrench. After installation, the engine should settle in pretty fast. If you hear knocking or misfires right away, something's off. Check your coils and connectors because it's rarely the plug itself unless it was damaged before installation. I'll be honest about downsides too. Iridium plugs cost more. You're paying for longer life and stable ignition, but if your car goes through plugs fast for reasons like oil consumption, you may not get your money's worth. Also, counterfeit NGK plugs exist online, so buying from a trusted seller matters. The real ones have clean laser markings, solid construction, and proper packaging. Anything that feels cheap or uneven is a red flag. Even with those drawbacks, the NGK 4996 Laser Iridium IFR5T11 plugs tend to be a reliable option for most engines that require this spec. They don't promise magic, they just work, and they work for a long time when the rest of the ignition system is healthy. If your car has been running rough or showing misfire codes and the plugs are old, replacing them with these is a simple, practical step. That's the full look. If this helped, hit like and subscribe for more reviews.